Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us at Garrow's Guns and Arrows. Today we're going to talk about what we're going to do with our leftover leeks that we harvested the other day with you. So what we've got here is we've got some greens left. We took all the bottoms and we pickled them, which are very, very good. We use some of the greens in some of our salads and things like that, but sandwiches is fantastic. We've got a handful of leftover greens, and really what I want to talk about was to turn this leftover green spring wild, but we want to preserve it. We want to turn it into seasoning. We can use that all year. It's a good way to preserve it, and it's a great tasting on our wild game out in the field. So anytime you're out there, you want to make fresh wild game, you need some seasoning, it's all around us. We just got to find it and put it to use. So today, let's get this stuff dehydrating. I'm going to show you what I do to grind it up and use it after that. So stay right here with me. All we're going to do is we're going to take these leeks and I'm going to separate them so they're single leaves. All right. And now you could cut them up if you want, but it's all right. We're going to just put them on whole like that. It's a little easier than lining the tray. So I'm going to split the leaf sections in half. We'll get these all dried completely. You can do this with just about any wild edible to preserve it longer. Now, if you didn't, of course, we're not in the bush right now, but if you were, you could use the sun and just dry these out. Hang them over something, over a line, something like that. Dry them out and use them in the same way. Out there, you probably have to grind them on a rock or something like that, but you can get the job done. So we're just going to spread all these out there evenly so they're not touching. And the reason they're not touching is because we want them to dry properly. Like I said, we're just going to separate the two halves. You can break them to fill in spaces. It's good for one layer. The next one on there. On this dehydrator, I've only got 4 trays, but it seems to be pretty good for what we're doing, for what we usually do. Let's get them on there. I don't know if you can see this. I'll hold one up for you. The next one I'll hold up, so you can see how we've got it. I should have enough room for all of them. You would need a whole lot to make a lot. I'll show you, but it'll be worth doing, and you'll have it. I'll carry this with us in our pack when we go up over the mountain and take you with us. I'll carry it. I'll refer back to it as we use it. So all I'm going to do is something like that for now. We'll fill that up. I may break up a couple and fill those gaps, just so I have enough room for more. Like I say, it's going to take a lot of leeks to make any amount of seasoning. That's the plan. All right, so I've got the leftover wild leeks that we had. They're in the dehydrator. I'm going to let that run. It probably won't take too long. They are a little moist right now, but probably 4 or 5 hours I'm going to have them ready. I want them completely dry. I'll have them ready to grind up and put into our container. I'll meet you back here when it's ready, and we'll finish the preparation of our seasoning. Welcome back. So we've had several hours for these leeks to dry right out thoroughly. I'm going to unload them, put them into this magic bowl here. We're going to grind them up into as fine a powder as we can, and we'll see what it looks like here. So they smell delicious. They smell great. They stunk up the house a little bit while they were drying. But make sure your equipment's real dry. Like all the equipment that you're going to be grinding the stuff, and make sure that's real dry too, because you'll ruin the time you spent drying them out. So they started out pretty good size, and now you can just kind of break them all up very easily. The closer I get to they are just falling apart here. They smell good. They taste fantastic. I love leeks like that. You can actually take those leeks and use them, preserve them this way, leave them whole, vacuum seal them, and use them for soups all winter or whatever you want. So I mean, it's really a good idea to do that. I'm going to take this with us on some of our camping trips, so that'll be fun to have a good wild seasoning. Just one of the ways you can use the leeks, rather than just plain eating them, because they're delicious that way also. So let's get these things all in there. The smell is fantastic. Once they're dried out, they start to lose a little bit of the really pungent odor. Let's just get them stuffed in there like that. Get them all kind of tucked in there. They're gonna grind right up into almost nothing, really. And then we've got it, a good seasoning. All right, get the rest of these loaded in there. Just gonna kind of crunch them up, stuff them in there. I was gonna try to talk while that was running, but that's why it's super important to have everything so dry. Look at that, that's beautiful. So we've got that ground down into a very, very fine powder. Oh, I wish you could smell that. It smells absolutely delicious. So we'll get that poured into our camp container here. That'll go into my pack, and that's what we'll use for our seasonings for some wild game while we're out in the field. And that's it. So thank you for joining us. Until next time, we'll see you then. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. As always, we appreciate your company. Stop right there. We're going to turn this batch of leeches. What we're going to do is we're going to turn this batch